too. Knows about the grind. Yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again.
There's the music start. I was wondering where that was going. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Good afternoon. Welcome to EST Afternoons. Live right here at Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for tuning in on our audio streams, edmontonsportstalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio. Those watching on YouTube, listening on podcast, wherever you get your podcast. For those listening on the radio going, who's that? That doesn't sound like Hernan. It's not Hernan. He's off. Scheduled day off today. Right. Matt Iwanyk in for Hernan Salas alongside Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish. I told Eric today at the end of the morning show that no, Hernan, obviously he didn't read the email, which showed that Hernan was off, but said Hernan's off, and he immediately went to your thing. So he's like, so you're telling me he had vacation time, and then yesterday he was sick. So he took your route, Gage, of not being trusting. Not being trusting.
No. He's shady, man. Shady. Probably played for the Chilean football team.
I'll be fascinated if he was out there.
Yeah.
Better not have been.
I don't care. All of a sudden he feels fresh as a daisy.
You got to be sitting at home watching that on YouTube or something. You better not have been there.
Better not have.
Because if you could have done that, you could have worked. You go out, you could work.
He could have done both. Wear a mask.
He is off until next Wednesday, which will be good for Goodwill Wednesday next week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You guys will have to you'll have to go to Goodwill next week before Wednesday, so you can wear it on the show.
Jesus.
Maybe you can plan with him to go on Wednesday morning.
Can't I just go into my son's closet? That's pretty much Goodwill in there.
Store ask Coop for something, because Coop's got plenty of things from Goodwill.
Yeah, you could come over to my house. We could have a beer.
Is Gage supplying the beer, or do you have the beers?
I'll come up with something.
We're live in the William Huff studio here on the west end of town since 1952. William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. They have unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry experience and a desire to make every job, the very best it can be. It's one of the reasons why the Oilers use them, and the Elks and the Stampeders and the Flames and the Canadian Football League. Everyone uses William Huff. Find out what the William Huff advantage is yourself. Check them out online, williamhuff.com. Give them the show at 780-454-4536. Oilers, Blackhawks tonight down at Rogers Place. GCL Diesel, Ulster, and pre- and post-game shows. Tommy, Benny, and Belzy will get you set for that one. Let's get to Hernan's Noticias. Okay, I got it right. We got Oilers, Blackhawks. Tristan Jarry getting the start in net for the Oilers. Zach Hyman will be a game-time decision. Trent Frederic, he is drawing back in. Also, Oil Kings 2-2 series. They tied it up with the Saskatoon Blades yesterday as they come to town for Game 5 tomorrow. Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show. He's going to stop by at 1:40. We'll get some insight into what's been going on in this series. And for the curling fans out there, Vic Rauter today calling it a career after this World Men's Curling Championship. 40 years calling curling, being the voice of curling in this country. After it all wraps up this weekend, he's done. Bidding farewell.
What a run.
Right? Make it a final.
Did you see did you see his tweet on
with the old hat?
Yeah. I was reading it going, oh, he found an old hat. But then it was a hidden meaning. Like, it's a little old and frayed, kind of like myself. It's time. And I was like, no.
I know.
I was like, oh, no. Like, I didn't expect it from that picture. But what a great little symbolism of his career, right?
I wanted to know it was his last year, so I could have watched, even shut off other things just to watch more curling to enjoy his one last time. Because I'm going to miss him as the voice.
There's certain voices, dude, that you just associate with certain sports. Like, even when I watch football on a Sunday, in the back of my mind, I can still hear Madden and
Pat Summerall?
Pat Summerall, right? Like I hear that. I hear
Pat Summerall, right?
Marv. Who was it? The NBA guy, Marv
Albert.
Marv Albert doing NBA games. Bob Cole, obviously.
Yeah.
Those are the voices in my head. If the mute's on, that's who I hear.
Well.
Right. And Vic, how is he not? When you turn on curling, is the voice that you hear?
Well, that's I'm going to get to that very shortly here, as you're drawing in very nicely to our question of the day. But I didn't go fully into it on the Hangout. But one of the stories I have about Vic Rauter, because he's old school broadcaster still. He's old school. And we missed this, but we had him on with JMO years ago, and he came in and on our show, and he ripped TSN and Sportscenter. And he works for TSN, and he ripped them for sports centers these days. He says, because the Jays have the rights to the Blue Jays, it's always going to lead their sportscasts. Yeah. On TSN, whatever rights they have is going to lead their sportscasts and stuff. And he's, as opposed to what it used to be was, okay, let's actually break down what are the biggest stories. Which ones are, and let's go through the biggest stories top to bottom, and we're going to give it to you throughout SportsCenter, but it's not based off of broadcasting rights. Yeah. If the Jays are having a miserable year and it's August, the Jays are going to be a little lower in the lineup because some other news is happening. There's a bigger story in the CFL or something. Or if the Jays are rock solid, they, not until playoffs, not waiting till playoffs, but in a June or a July, it may lead SportsCenter on TSN. And he absolutely ripped them. And it was great because it was one of those things. There's not a lot of people that can get away with that while they work for a broadcaster. No. Vic Rauter was one of those guys that could do that. Question of the day, who's your favorite voice of a sport?
Favorite voice
of any sport? Who would be like your top? Like, because it's more like Bob Cole these days. But Martin Tyler in soccer and football always was just so descriptive. And now he's lost it a little bit, but his voice, everyone would know his voice. And now the current guy, Peter Drury, is just fantastic. The way soccer commentators describe the games with poetry and stuff, it's like anything else. They'd be two of them I would throw up there. But you've already named a couple. Would you have a favorite?
I mean, again, this is just Saturday, the Hockey Night in Canada coming on, and hearing Harry Neal and Bob Cole on the broadcast. That's just the soundtrack leading into it's probably a game in Toronto, whatever. I don't care, but that's who I want to hear most. Bob Cole and Harry Neal.
Chris Cuthbert was my guy.
Oh, really?
For hockey, him and Jim Houston. Always loved Jim Houston.
I love Jim Houston.
Jim Houston was fantastic. I have a soft spot for John Shorthouse. I think is just a great call from Vancouver area. But Chris Cuthbert more than Bob. Like Bob Cole. Like when you think of Hockey Night in Canada, the past to me it is Bob Cole. Yeah. But also growing up, didn't do as many of the late games. So there'd be the Mark Lees of the world doing those type of things. Coobs, you're a different generation.
Yeah.
What is your voice of a sport?
I mean, the one that's most apparent, I guess, for me would be somebody like Jack Michaels.
Okay.
Like even just locally here, Camoon, it's pretty good. But overall, my favorite sports voice currently has been for a while. Well, I wonder what you think. Who you think it is?
I wrote it down.
John Anik.
Who's he?
He is the UFC.
Kate, I went Joe Rogan because I thought maybe does he not call it anymore?
So they have like a trio sort of.
Or is he the color guy?
He's basically a color guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anik kind of just steers the ship, but I like everything that he has to say, enunciation. He lets the guys do their work, and he does what he does very well. And I don't know, he's got a solid voice. I actually don't like Joe Rogan very much.
No,
as a color commentator, because he's like, oh, he's tired, he's hurt. No, he isn't. He says it every time, and then he comes back and wins. So I mean, he knows what he's talking about, though. But they got a pretty fun crew, UFC wise.
Doesn't he have like 18 black belts, Joe Rogan?
Oh, he probably made half of them up or something. I don't know. I mean, he's done a lot of things, but probably the other guy on UFC, like John Anik, as an actual UFC commentator for me would be either Daniel Cormier or Mike Bisping, because they're pretty funny and they know exactly what they're talking about. Both have won belts in the UFC, but more generic, for hockey.
Bisping's the English fighter, right?
Yeah. He that was GSP's last fight.
He's had like his neck fused, and does he have eye problems
Yeah,
and stuff? Like,
he can't see out of one eye.
Yeah.
And he lost vision in a fight as well. So, yeah.
I don't know
Not
if you've
very
ever
good.
watched Striking Point. That can't be it. It's a great show. It was a British show though, and it's two operatives, and it's kind of like 24, where they're fighting terrorists and stuff like that. It's really good. Bisbing was a bad guy in it. He was awesome.
Oh, yeah?
He was really good. I was like, he can't be that good, but yeah, I mean, he beat the crap out of these guys. Striking Point, I think it was. I'll find it.
Striking point. Yeah.
Matty, your favorite announcer, is it, can I guess?
Why would it be like a Peter Drury
Oh, okay.
from that side? Or Al Michaels?
I thought it would be
Actually,
Jim
this
Nantz.
No. Jim Nantz at the Masters is great. I
Yeah.
think Mike the Michigan fan has Vern Lundqvist though at the Masters. He was always at 16.
Oh, right,
He
right,
was always a big voice. Also because Vern also did SEC football on CBS, which was great. The other one, it's blank. It just slipped my mind. He does the great Kevin Harlan.
Who's that?
He's the guy. He usually does Super Bowls on Westwood One. He's the guy that's described the streakers.
Oh yeah, and the animals that
All
he's
of
at
that
the 20.
stuff. Yes. He's
great.
He's got a great clip that it was going viral again a couple years ago in March Madness. There was wildness happening, and just watching him do it as he was losing his mind as he was calling it. And just watching it, like I've never done play-by-play. I don't have interest in it, but watching how they do things, like he put his arms out to make sure his color guys didn't speak, because he let it breathe a little bit. Then he continued. He allowed them in. He is outstanding. But Al Michaels is one of the big ones. But Chris Cuthbert locally, like from a North American standpoint, I just always loved Chris Cuthbert, whether he was calling CFL or NHL. He was great. Jim Lampley for boxing, if you're sticking in the competitive sport. Lampley was the voice of boxing.
Yeah.
If you watch those, I want to get into.
I liked his leading up to HBO stuff. It was great. Yeah.
Project Dumplings did have Jim Lampley. Jim Nantz, Masters, great. NFL, so bad. Max Bezzoso, Gus Johnson, Mike Breen, Jim Rosh. Mike Breen is awesome. He does the NBA. Go find his stuff when he was on the Don Imus show as the sports broadcaster, though. It was fantastic. He would just make stuff up sometimes. And he just run a little clip for it. We've got a lot of comments coming into the River Cree inbox. We'll get to those throughout this first hour and stuff. Troy also saying, this is a great point. I never noticed that they changed up the format of Sports Centers. Now that you've said that, I see it in terms of whatever is happening, whatever's rights holders for TSN or Sportsnet, it impacts the order that they do things. It's not always just about what's the biggest, it's what's the biggest to us. And that can take things away. So, send those in. River Cree inbox. Who is your favorite voices of a game? And this in honor of Vic Rauter announcing it. He is calling it a career as the voice of curling in this country for a long time, 40 years.
Wow.
He'll wrap things up on TSN after this weekend as he calls up the World Men's Curling Championship. And then he's done. Brian Williams for the Olympics.
Yeah.
And when the Olympics would roll around, you knew Brian Williams is going to...
there he is.
He's going to explain what's happening.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Brian Williams on TV in quite some time.
What's the girl's name again that does Olympics too?
Andy Petrillo now?
Yeah, I like her too.
He's good.
Yeah.
There's a lot with one soccer and stalker.
She'll be on
like
like World Cup stuff, right? For sure, probably.
The upcoming World Cup?
Yeah, how is it broadcast?
TSN.
It's all TSN?
Yeah, so James Duthie will be your main
But when it
broadcaster.
goes CBC, will they do like Olympic thing or just go TSN?
Oh, TSN owns it all. And the reason you don't need to do that is because it'll be TSN and CTV will air games. They'll air a number of games. There's only one game at a time. There's not a wide variety of sports or games happening at the same time. There will never be an overlap of games. There's always just one game at a time. So between TSN and CTV, they can air it all completely. So Duthie will be your main guy. Kevin Kilban, Atiba Hutchinson, they're kind of been the guys on the panel. I don't know if they'll bring someone else for the panel. And then your play-by-play crew, I'm assuming Luke Wildman will be back along with Stephen Caldwell. And with all due respect to Luke Wildman and Stephen Caldwell, I love them. I think they do a great job. But when Canada hasn't been in the World Cup, we just take the BBC or the UK feed. I just want them. I just want that because There's a level. They're a level above what we have. And again, Luke Wildman has been hired to do the voice of the U.S. soccer games on HBO down south. That's why we haven't had him.
Yeah.
Always in like this week, we didn't have him calling the games because he's doing HBO for the U.S. He's a solid play-by-play guy, but there's just, and I know he has the accent and stuff, but I want the BBC people. Very selfish.
It is something when I was over in Europe and listening to football games when you have the English guy and the Scottish guy and even the Irish guy. So, you get three distinct.
And we have that, like with Luke Wildman and Stephen Caldwell, they have it.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same. There's just something off on it. So, but James Duthie, I know he'll be then the Shinetti will be, because Shinetti's been doing a great job covering the Canadian men's national team as we get set for that World Cup in a little bit. Have you seen the ticket pricings? They had the last minute sales yesterday. I told you my brother was in line. He finally got in.
Oh, okay.
Finals tickets go for upwards of $11,000.
Oh, good. It's good.
The only two group stage games as of today that have not been completely sold out is the opener for the U.S. and the opener for Canada. Because the only tickets available left for Canada versus Bosnia is minimum $1,000.
Are you serious?
Yes. It's just been highway robbery completely in the World Cup. What we'll do is we'll take a little bit of a break. When we come back, we'll continue in the inbox on your voices of sports. Along with that, we'll talk a little Edmonton Oilers as they host the Chicago Blackhawks down at Rogers Place. We'll get into that game. As I've said, Guy Flaming joining us at 1:40. Pipeline Show Talk Oil Kings. We have Red Light District with Gager coming up in the second hour, as well as looking for a bounce back of the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay. I think I stopped checking out. Well, I don't think Panarin had a shot yesterday. It was not a good line from me, Gager. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. We'll get to a Coop Sports update, and then we're back on the other side here on EST Afternoons. You're listening to Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
The Oilers host the Blackhawks. Trent Frederic back from a 5-game absence. He hasn't played since March 19th against the Panthers. Zach Hyman, he's a game-time decision while Tristan Jarry gets the start. Tapping into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson tee up the matchup coverage starting at 6 o'clock right here on EST. And the Oilers, they made a signing locking up 23-year-old Owen Michaels from Western Michigan to a 1-year entry-level contract. That kicks in for next season. Staying out west, the Mammoth and Kraken go head-to-head. Kraken 7 points behind Utah, who are in wild card 1, 3 points back of LA for wild card 2. Seattle 1 game in hand on both squads. In the NFL, 37-year-old Kirk Cousins has signed with the Raiders, according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. His contract will pay him $10 million for next season. Half a dozen games in the association. Thunder and Lakers clash at 7:30, while the Spurs and Clippers tip off. Minnie and Detroit open the night at 5. And just 3 games in the majors today. Twins and Royals live bottom 4th inning. Twins leading 1-0. More on EST Afternoons following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Jamie McLennan.
Evan Bouchard's not getting enough love because people just want to kick him in the junk about his defensive play. I get it. He's a polarizing guy. I think we focus so much on the negative of a player. There's no perfect player. The next perfect player that I meet will be the only one. And the most jarring thing for me was seeing him with his shirt off the other day.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The Blue Jays are back for their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences or tackling backyard spring projects, get the space you need with Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
It's a rezzed up reimagining, a cultural celebration, and a smash hit. River Cree Resort and Casino brings you Bear Grease the Musical. Don't miss this hilarious spin on the 70s classic, replacing T-Birds and Pink Ladies with a cast of characters that spotlight Indigenous language, music, and moves with a Broadway flair. Iconic numbers get a bold new spirit and the audience favorite, Bear Grease. April 26th in the venue at River Cree. Must be 18 plus. Get info and tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed.
A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase. One donation.
One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Hockey on one screen, basketball on the next, soccer in the corner. And yeah, we've got UFC too. There's a reason we have this many screens. Because no matter what you're watching, it deserves the big moment. We don't pick sides. We don't pick sports. We put it all on. Cold beers flying. Game day eats landing. And the crowd's louder than your group chat. If it's on here. The Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house.
Back here at EST Afternoons, 122 here in Edmonton. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish with you here. Let's get it quickly into the inbox before we dive into the Oilers Blackhawks game. River Cree inbox for River Cree. Tab 25 restaurant, 50% off the entire menu. That's available 7 days a week from 2 until 5 p.m. Big Dave saying Dusty's going to come back to fire you all for not picking him for calling CFL games. That's for question of the day, favorite voice of a sport. Here's the thing. I will say this. Dusty's great. He's not the voice yet fully. He hasn't, the names we all named, been around a lot. Dusty's newer on the national stage.
Has he done?
CFL's got to be
3, 4? No, longer.
No, I think he started calling games in 19 right before the lost season.
Yeah.
But it was 9, he only had a couple games, then he started doing 9. Maybe about 4th season or so, or is it his 5th where he's more full-time? It might only be his 4th season full-time almost. So, so he's going to be there. But when we're saying Chris Cuthbert, we're saying the Bob Coles, we're saying the Vic Routers, we're saying the Mike Breens of the world. They've been around for a long time. You can't be the voice of something in my mind on a big stage of the sport within 5 years. And
you kind of grow up, I think, with these voices in your head too.
Yes.
I think that for a young guy, young kid playing football and, watches CFL and listens, Dusty's going to be the voice that he
100%.
He hears in his head at recess when he's catching the touchdown, right?
Yeah, he needs to be calling the Grey Cup one day. He's not yet, though. So it's you're not the voice fully there yet. So that's where, for me, why he wasn't thrown out there yet is he's going to get there. It just hasn't happened just yet. Dirty Dawn, Bruce Buffer, or Joe Rogan, having them in there. We had another Dusty one. A troll, play-by-play, Hitman, play-by-play guy, Brad Curl is great. Mooner's an old-timer. So that's what we've got in River Cree inbox. Your favorite voice of a sport? That's our question of the day. Gage, your Oilers will be taking on the Blackhawks. GCL Diesel Ulster and pre- and post-game shows later tonight. Tommy, Benny, and Belzy will get people set for that one at 6 o'clock, the pregame show. Jarry gets the start tonight. Do you like that move?
No.
Why not?
Multiple reasons. A, guy got a shutout game before. He's rolling. It's at a particular time of the year. This is your first 4-game winning streak. Why not make it 5? Why change things up? It's an important game. You're kind of chasing down first in the Pacific. And I think it kind of, in a roundabout way, weird way, sends the wrong message to your team by putting Jarry in against a lower ranked opponent like the Chicago Blackhawks. What's
the message do you think it sends?
Sometimes, Maddie, I know it's not supposed to happen, but it happens a little bit. You can't tell me there's not a sliver in there. When your main guy's playing, he's playing well, and then the schedule gets to a part where, okay, we're playing a low-end team. We'll play the other guy. He's not playing well. You hear the term scheduled loss. It's not a scheduled loss, but I just think you've built up so much over these past few games. You want to keep that thing rolling. And then if it bucks you, then, you make adjustments. But
I
don't like it. If I was a goalie, I'd be pissed. I am a goalie. I am pissed.
This winning streak started with Tristan Jarry in net.
Doesn't matter.
He began this all.
Well, he's going to end it all, possibly, too.
Or you're getting this victory because Jarry, you got him in this game, and you're going with your better goalie against the more difficult opponent on Saturday, where you could basically pretty much lock yourself into minimum second spot in the Pacific.
But don't you want to build the confidence even more going into that game? Like
of who?
The whole team.
Yeah,
every game.
So come out knowing that you won. You could build the confidence of your backup goalie, and you could build it and having your goalie ready to go for that Saturday game. This to me is on the players. If the players don't show up tonight, then that's on them. Why aren't you showing up for this other guy?
I'll agree with you there, but why give them the opportunity to think differently? Why change things?
Because at some point you got to get Jarry back in the net.
Why?
Because you're going to need him in the playoffs.
Are you?
Based on the last few seasons, you absolutely do.
What has given you any indication of Ingram's play falling off?
That I haven't seen him in the playoffs.
Well, you're just speculating at this point.
100%.
Nothing.
100% I am. But
and you're speculating.
I've also can speculate that over the last two playoffs, which did not have Ingram, but did have...
Both those goalies are gone.
Right. There, but Chris Knoblauch made goaltending changes. He's not afraid to go make that move.
Guys started playing poorly. Ingram's lost and played well. That's the thing. There hasn't been a real goalie. No, I mean, it had happened a few times, but Ingram plays well in losses too. There's no reason to go back to another guy after a game that I've seen. And he's rolling right now. I just think it's a mistake, man. You don't mess with a winning streak.
Connor Ingram's 0 for 4 in the playoffs. That's maybe where you're coming from, where you wanting the other goalie ready to go. That as good as Ingram has been, it is regular season playoffs are different.
It's different. Yeah, it's different.
So that's where it's like I don't have as much of I get there's the shutout, so that would maybe be the one reason that you go back to him. But I don't mind that they're using this as the spot to get Jarry back in.
They've never won 5 in a row though. Who gives you your best chance to win? Jarry or Ingram? And this is, if you're looking at these two games,
I think having Ingram in net over Jarry on Saturday gives you a better chance of grabbing those 2 points.
Well, why not bank the first 2?
Because what if you lose with Ingram in net?
So you lose with him. Then maybe you play Jarry on Saturday.
Oh, so now you're going to have Jarry against the...
I've started a 2-game losing streak. No,
I'm okay with this one. Like, I ultimately, if I was Chris Knoblauch, I probably would have went, though, Ingram gets these next 2, and then Jarry's going to get the Mammoth next week. But maybe that's part of this, too, is that he knows that there's a back-to-back next week. Is it Tuesday, Wednesday next week? He knows that there's a back-to-back. It's Utah and Sharks Tuesday, Wednesday. He doesn't want Jarry sitting for so long, knowing that he has to play Jarry in those 2. You know, Chris Knoblauch is looking ahead and thinking, I want to get to a 7 and an 8 game win streak. So Jarry wins tonight, Ingram wins on Saturday, and we're getting set to go for 7 and 8 wins against the Utah Mammoth and the San Jose Sharks.
Give him that. Yeah, give him the Mammoth game. But I think it's a mistake.
You're right, Gage, or this texter says, Matt's wrong as usual. But maybe that's because you have more goalie experience. Well, Chris Knoblauch has more coaching experience than you, texter. Didn't even sign your name. I don't have just an issue with it. Are you worried about no Zach Hyman possibly for tonight?
No. They should be good enough to... I mean, they lost Draisaitl. That's another...
So they're good enough to win without Hyman or Draisaitl, but not good enough to win with Jarry in net.
I'm not saying they're not good enough. They should.
Just messing with you.
But I just... We always talk about when they were playing well and he changed the lines, right? I consider taking the goalie out, changing the lines again. The most important decision of the starting lineup sheet is who's starting in net. And you're coming off arguably the 3 best games we've seen. 3 games from Ingram. He's been great, man. He's a stabilizing factor for this team right now. And I think you just don't want to mess with that winning concoction. Plus the fact that you're going for your first 5-game winning streak. So
Barry the cheater. What happens if Jarry stinks it up and loses? Destroys momentum? ? I don't think that would destroy momentum of this team. This team can't. If that would say to me that this team is way too fragile. That's a concern for me.
They haven't done that all year, too. Right?
Absolutely. So I wouldn't believe that be the case at all.
Like the most they've lost in a row is 4, right?
The Oilers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing. Prior to this winning streak that they've gone on, they haven't had winning streaks or losing streaks, really. They've kept it relatively, like when they've lost, they've gone back quickly to getting a win.
And that overlapped from the Olympic break too, right? Didn't they lose it was a 4-game losing streak, I want to say.
Yeah, they lost 3 prior to the break.
The first one after the break.
And then lost first after the break. That was a very poor performance from Jarry. But I would separate those largely. But that's the longest. It's a 4-game losing streak type thing.
It's so really, if you look at it, if you're going to reboot it, the longest losing streak is like 3 games, right? That's not bad for a team. Of course, you'd like a few more winning streaks, but this is a chance to do that. You want to be playing you don't want to be limping into the playoffs. Not that they would, but I think just keep rolling. Keep rolling with what got you there.
Penner's Pancakes, if this was a 4-pointer, then I think Ingram gets the start. I think them playing the Blackhawks is a factor. Also, like part of that being that they're out of the division and stuff, and it's not impacting there. Confide, how many good games in a row has Ingram played? Maybe he has a trend showing he's due for a stinker.
Don't think
the Hernan Salas, he's due.
Yeah,
he's due, but for the bad way.
He's due. Due. It's always due in however Hernan sees it, though. Whether, no man,
they should win tonight.
They should. Oh, exactly.
They should win tonight.
So
and now you've given rest to Ingram.
Okay.
And then Ingram comes out and beats the Vegas Golden Knights on Saturday, and the Oilers are pretty much locked in at minimum 2nd in the Pacific. Carter Hart getting the start, and John Tortorella confirming today for the Vegas Golden Knights, so that he's back with the Golden Knights. Yes,
First start since January 9th.
He did not have good numbers prior to that, though, did he?
No. He has not been stellar at all this season.
This is game 2 under Torts? They haven't played since, like outside of that first win against the Canucks, right?
Yeah.
I want to say yes, yeah.
8 o'clock puck drop tonight. Yes, 4-2 on Monday.
Busy schedule coming up in the NHL tonight. And a lot of playoff implications. Taking the Oilers out of this, if you're just looking for the wild carding spots of the West, we've got some big matchups coming up tonight. You've got Winnipeg in Dallas taking on the Stars. You've got Calgary in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. You've got the Leafs in San Jose taking on the Sharks, who are all of a sudden just a point behind the playoff spot, but have a game in hand on LA to get into that playoff spot. Utah's in Seattle, and then Nashville in LA. So there might be some movement going on tonight. I was joking on the hangout today. What's going to happen is the Oilers are going to find a way to get first in the Pacific, and the Kings are going to find a way to pass the Utah Mammoth, and we're going to get Oilers-Kings first-round matchup.
As it should be.
As is tradition.
A tradition like no other.
Who needs the Masters? The tradition I want every year is Oilers-Kings in the playoffs. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. This is EST Afternoons. On the other side of the break, Guy Flaming of the Pipeline Show, as well as color analyst for the Edmonton Oil Kings. We'll talk some Oil Kings with him as they're 2-2 in their series against the Saskatoon Blades. We'll also continue in the River Cree inbox, in the Nasty Chat, and then coming up at 2 o'clock, it is the Red Light District with the goalie himself, the expert more than I am on goaltending, Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk, he's Gager. We'll get to a Coob Sports update, and then Guy Flaming on the other side of the break. This is EST Afternoons live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your choice for Edmonton Sports.
The Oilers play host to the Blackhawks. Trent Frederic back from a 5-game absence. Zach Hyman, a game-time decision. Tristan Jarry gets the start. Tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson set the stage for the matchup coverage starting at 6 o'clock right here on EST. Meanwhile, the Oilers, they've locked up 23-year-old Owen Michaels from Western Michigan to a 1-year entry-level deal that kicks in for next season. 13 other games in the NHL tonight. Utah, Seattle dropped a puck. The Sharks and Leafs play while the Preds and Kings hit the ice. In the NFL, 37-year-old Kirk Cousins has signed with the Raiders, according to his agent. Elsewhere, there's a half dozen games in the association. Thunder, Lakers clashing at 7:30. Spurs and Clippers tipping off, while Minnie and Detroit open the night at 5. In baseball, there's 3 games on today's schedule. Top of the 5th. Twins up 1-0 on the Royals. Currently, in other news, the voice of curling, Vic Rauter, has announced his retirement after more than 40 years to the Pebble. It's Canada taking on Germany at 2 in round-robin play in the World Men's Curling Championship. Guy Flaming up next here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
I'm not shocked that he's fired. I'm just surprised that, and especially yesterday where there was this attention around this game, that you dropped that right before the game. But they're going for a full reset coming up here, and it'll be fascinating to see what they do. And they try to trade Austin Matthews.
Is Mitch Marner just laughing? Poolside, just laughing right now?
I'm away from that mess.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
here at EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish with you here on Edmonton Sports. Clear choice for Edmonton Sports 141 here in Edmonton. Snowing very south of like in Calgary. Saw some big snow in like Wetaskiwin.
Is that where cars cost less?
Cars do cost less in Wetaskiwin. Right now in Edmonton, 0 degrees. Tomorrow, 7 degrees here in town. Portions of this hour of EST Afternoons brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. Why wait for a good time? Started early at the Canadian Brewhouse. Happy hour runs Monday to Thursday, 2 until 6, with deals starting at $3.99. Your coach can't compete. The Canadian Brewhouse. So in less than 20 minutes, happy hour at the CBH gets going. Let's get to the Oil Country Towing Hotline, which is brought to you by Oil Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team. Fast, safe, and reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's game day or a snowstorm, work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show, friend of EST, along with the color voice of the Edmonton Oil Kings. He joins us. Guy, appreciate the time. Thanks so much. Oil Kings Blades 2-2 series. For those that maybe haven't followed along with the season, is this a closer series than you expected, or is this kind of what you would have thought maybe this series would have been like?
No, probably a little closer than I expected, and I think probably that's due to some injury issues here for the Oil Kings. I don't think they've had their full lineup. Max Curran's been out forever, but like Gavin Hodnett just got back for Game 4 yesterday in Saskatoon. They're without Blake Fiddler and Aaron Obobaifo the last couple of games. Parker Snell started Game 1 and Game 2. He's been sidelined with something. Don't know if he's good to go for Game 5 or not. So they've managed to come back in this series. They were down 2-1. They win Game 4, so that sets up a best of 3 for the rest of the way here, and doing it while pretty banged up. So that would probably be what I would lean on if I was going to say, why is this maybe a tied series right now? But take nothing away from Saskatoon. It's a quality team.
You partly answered my next question, noticing that Snell played those first 2 games and then Simcoe took over the last 2. So the bit of an injury there for Snell. Is Snell the guy no matter what moving forward? Because Simcoe comes in, he does split out in Saskatoon. Is it as simple as when Snell is ready to go, he takes back that net?
Depending on what it is, and I don't think it's an injury. It might be like an illness. Maybe he's got the flu or something. So when he's back to feeling better, then he'd be back in. I don't know that 100%, but I was at Game 2. He didn't get hurt. He didn't leave early or anything like that. So that tells me if it's an injury, it's a pretty minor one. That would be my guess. And if it's just an illness, then it's just a matter of how long it takes till you're back to 100%. That said, Simcoe did play pretty well. I wasn't thrilled about a couple of the goals that he led in, but he made some big stops along the way. So you got to take the good with the bad, right?
Yes, you do, Guy. So what's the timeline for some of these guys to come back? Are the possibilities like a Fiddler coming into this series, or does it depend if the Oil Kings move on to round 2?
Well, and this is the problem with in the playoffs. They're not
telling.
They're not giving you a whole lot of insight. Fiddler didn't leave Game 2 early, but he did get hit in the knee. The opposing player was given a kneeing penalty. Fiddler finished the game, but looked hurt afterwards. Not after the game, but after the incident on the ice. He did finish the game, but then wasn't good for Game 3 or 4. So I'm guessing that's, swelling afterwards or something, but maybe it's precautionary. It's definitely a guy you would want in the lineup if he's able to play. Aaron Obobaifo, he and Fiddler hit a player. They sandwiched a guy, and Obobaifo left the game midway through Game 2 and didn't return. So of those two, I'm just guessing, but I would say Fiddler's probably less serious than Obobaifo, based only on the fact that Fiddler finished the game. Both could be out. Both could be back next game. I have no idea.
I was watching some of the highlights. It looked Miroslav Holinka scores. It just looks like automatic, going through the whole team and dancing in and roofing it on the backhand. 2 goals last game. Is this has he been the MVP of this series so far?
Well, from an Edmonton perspective, for sure. Hat trick last game, actually.
Oh, sorry, yeah, last.
he's added that to his repertoire this year, that he can attack. He's not afraid to attack 1-on-4. We saw that with that highlight you're referencing from last game. He's been really good. They needed their big guys to step up after game one, and he's done that. Lucas Sauchin has been really good for Edmonton the last few games as well. If you're going to win a series, you can't rely on your depth guys. Some of those players have scored. Ryan Gower scored his first career WHL goal in game 3. And Noah Ta'amu, who you're not expecting any offense from, also contributed a goal. So it's great when your depth is able to contribute, but you need your big guys to lead.
We're with Guy Fleming at the Pipeline Show, as well as color analyst of the Oil Kings. Just a couple more for you, Guy. So ultimately, beyond the health, what's the key for the Oil Kings finding a way to close out the Blades and winning the series and moving on?
Stay out of the penalty box. Way too many penalties the first 2 games here in Edmonton, and even game 3 there were penalties yesterday. In game 4, pretty much like a low. There weren't a lot of penalties for either team. 5-on-5, Edmonton was the better club, so I think that's going to be the key for the Oil Kings, is to keep it 5-on-5, or at least don't give Saskatoon too many power play chances. It's not just because then Saskatoon's going to score. It's just you can't attack. You're playing defense all night, and it gets your guys out of the rhythm, because you're always relying on your penalty killers and your special teams guys, and half your roster doesn't play. So I think it's imperative for Edmonton to keep it 5-on-5 if they can.
Vic Rauter, he's a longtime legendary voice of curling on TSN, has called it quits. Our question of the day: who's your voice of any sport? Like, what's your favorite voice of any sport?
I guess it would probably be Rod Phillips, just growing up in the area. In fact, northern Alberta, so we didn't have like local guys out there. Probably Rod Phillips. I mean, there's lots. Now that I've been in the WHL for a long time, there's been lots of guys in this league who have been great. Like Cam Moon was always fantastic in the dub, and it's continued at the NHL level. There's still really good broadcasters in the WHL, NHL caliber, in my opinion. Gary Thorne, do you know that name?
Yes. He used to do the video game of the NHL too back in the day. I think the 2K series might have been.
Well, I remember he did some Frozen 4 games, and I had him on the show, and he's just got like a super deep, powerful voice.
Yeah.
He was outstanding as well. I think he's retired now, but there's a couple.
iHeartRadio, Oil Kings channel for the games. Are you and Matt Barrett also on the Victory Plus? Do they get your feed? It's your feed on those?
It's our feed for Victory Plus. No video, face for radio, so you can spare the viewers that, but you can watch and hear us call the game at the same time, and it's free, 100% free anywhere on the planet. You could be on a beach in Mexico and watching the Oil Kings play, and it's free.
Or you can head on down to Rogers Place and cheer on those Edmonton Oil Kings. Guy, really appreciate the time. Enjoy the calls this week and have a wonderful Easter.
All right, guys. Thanks to you too.
Guy Fleming of the Pipeline Show, which airs Monday at 7, Saturdays at noon, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. As long as if there's an Oilers, we move things around. But you could catch the Pipeline Show in its 21st season doing the Pipeline Show.
That's great.
Coop, how old are you again? 22? So Guy's basically been doing it almost your entire life. If Guy's still on, hopefully it would make you feel old or anything like that. Guy,
Sorry,
apologies. I am Matt Barrett with the call this week. And again, if you're not heading down to Rogers Place for the playoffs, Game 5 tomorrow, 6 o'clock down at Rogers Place. Seats starting at $20. If necessary, Game 7 will go Monday down at Rogers Place. But the Oil Kings looking to hopefully maybe finish off these Blades and move on to the second round.
Yeah, I was looking at a lot of the other series around the league are all but done. It looks like Everett knocked off your
Winterhawks?
My Winterhawks 4-0. That was kind of expected though. Kelowna knocks off Kamloops in 4. Good. Hate Blazers. Spokane's up 3-1, or Prince George is up 3-1 against Spokane. Penticton up 3-1 against Seattle. And so, the only series that is tied 2-2 right now is Edmonton and the Saskatoon Blades. So, interesting. And they would get what looks like Medicine Hat's up 3-1 against Regina. So, moving on, that gets tough.
I just threw up your Wikipedia page. It says one of the hosts of EST Afternoons, alongside Herland Salas.
Really?
On your page. It's on your page.
Wow.
No one did that. I just went. How far did you go with the Winterhawks?
We went to the WHL finals.
You did get to the WHL
Yeah.
finals? Were you splitting the net?
Huh?
Were you splitting the net? Somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm just looking at gameplay and stuff like that.
Me and remember Damon, or what was it? Damon Lanko. Remember Damon Lanko?
Mm-mm.
The Scott Lanko was his brother.
Oh, okay.
He's the other guy.
WHL's always a fun. Just to get a good excitement.
Yeah. I mean,
your Winterhawks go down.
Yeah, that's tough.
Did you send any angry emails?
No, I wasn't in the top 50 players, so I didn't expect to be.
Yeah, if you're not a top 50 players, you go down maybe. But yeah, well, hey, look, sometimes here's the one thing I know about Saskatoon Blades. It's tough to go up against Dan Tanser. I'm happy for whoever wins this series. If the Oil Kings move on, I'm happy for them. Again, I'd prefer the Oil Kings. But hey, Dan Tanser's a good dude. If they could move on and go on a little bit of run, I'll power to them. That'd be good for Dan and stuff and the Priestners group. But
that's a good, that's a really good run junior hockey team, Saskatoon Blades.
Great colors.
Yeah.
Great logo.
Good rink.
They're trying to build a new one.
Are they?
I keep seeing every so often discussions about getting a downtown rink or something in Saskatoon.
Really? Yeah, because it is out of town a little bit.
But now I'm not from Saskatoon, and everywhere I stay in Saskatoon, it's closer to the north, so it's not far from the rink to me at least. I don't know how big of a deal it is. They also have a ring road. Can't be that bad to get around Saskatoon to get to the rink.
I don't think so.
Even if you're South Saskatoon.
I haven't been to. Well, I've been there, but I don't know the city.
Been a while.
Yeah.
I highly recommend getting out to Saskatoon in advance of a Rider game and go on game day from Saskatoon down to Regina. It's a great time. It's probably the closest you'll find to a college type experience. Of
and they
football.
have tailgating this year.
They've added tailgating.
Yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
Cool. Imagine Huss in there. He might as well wear a crown.
He's Winnipeg.
Oh, right. Never mind. When he goes there for the thing.
Well,
he goes
for what happens at
the Banjo Bowl. Is that?
No, that one's in Winnipeg. That's the rematch. So I learned this last year. There's a guy that has a house.
Yeah.
That a bunch of Bombers fans just take over for Labor Day, and that's where they go. There was a picture he had last year where there's like 100, 150 Bombers fans in this guy's yard.
That's what
getting
he was
ready
saying
for the
last
game.
year. He couldn't wait to get to that house.
Yes, it was almost like more important than the game was getting to that spot.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be funny.
I just wish I could do a little more tailgating. Love what I do. Love Jay and I spending some time together, getting you set with the Green and Gold Kickoff post-game shows right here on EST. But I do get jealous a little bit of not being at that tailgate.
Can't you do it at the tailgate?
Been told no. Maybe this year things will change, but we've been told no. Because here's the thing: if Jay and I are broadcasting from the tailgate, we would tailgate too.
Well, what do you mean?
You could
You're not gonna get slobbering drunk.
No. We could set up 3 hours ahead of time.
Yeah.
We would definitely be serving something, doing like Turf District, Elks Call. They all do their menus. I would definitely have a menu. Jay and I would be all over a grill serving things up to people, and then an hour before, and then at some point, like, hey, we're done. Like, we have to do the show. But for that hour and a half that we have prior to the show, we would tailgate the hell and give people a bunch of stuff. It'd be great.
Would it be like you guys just on like college football? Everyone's in behind. And
Absolutely.
You can see. That's how I envision it.
College football game day.
Yeah. Come on, Elks.
And then we'll serve people food. All that. It'd be so much fun.
That would be
wonderful.
Great.
I'm Matt Iwanyk. He's Joaquin Gage. We got Zachary Kubish. I am in for Hernan Salas. That's the first hour of EST Afternoons for today. In the next hour, we got the Red Light District. We were supposed to, we were maybe going to play, was it Connor Murphy, Coop? Yeah, we maybe play some of Connor Murphy's avail from today. Is Connor Murphy going up against his old club, as is Dickinson with the Edmonton Oilers later tonight. We also have the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay, which Coop and I were talking in the Hangout. Kind of maybe thinking we should try to keep this one just a nice light number, low number, to try to just end on a win. It's been a rough week.
It's
been a rough week. So just keep that in mind as we build our parlay for later today. We'll take a short time out. On the other side, Coop will kick us off with a sports update, and then we'll get to the red light district. This is EST Afternoons from the William Huff Studio in the west end of town on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Quite frankly, where he belongs. Back in Edmonton, Rick Campbell, you have been hired as a coaching analyst. How would you summarize this position for everybody?
The highlights are going to be advanced opponent scouting. I'm also going to focus on doing game management reports for every game played in the CFL. So those crucial situations that come up in a game.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation with options for every style and budget, open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
It's a rezzed up reimagining, a cultural celebration, and a smash hit. River Cree Resort and Casino brings you Bear Grease the Musical. Don't miss this hilarious spin on the 70s classic, replacing T-Birds and Pink Ladies with a cast of characters that spotlight Indigenous language, music, and moves with a Broadway flair. Iconic numbers get a bold new spirit and the audience favorite, Bear Grease. April 26th in the venue at River Cree. Must be 18 plus. Get info and tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. Had a good day? It's time for happy hour. Bad day? Oof, happy hour. Boss said great job? Happy hour. Boss said let's circle back? Ugh, definitely happy hour. Got a promotion? Happy hour. Spilled coffee on your shirt 5 minutes after getting dressed? Ugh, happy hour. So whether you're celebrating or recovering, our happy hour starts at just $3.99. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Love the thrill of competition, but prefer to keep it classy?
Well, it's as classy as you can get when Dustin Nielsen is the host.
Join us April 14th at Bell and Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk Bid for Kids, presented by GS Construction.
A night filled with special guests, auctions, and a ton of prizes in support of Kids Spot.
No whistles, no play clock,
just a room full of generous hearts.
EST's Bid for Kids. Get your tickets at kidsportbidsforkids.com.
Use promo code ESTBIDS for 10% off.
It's the Oilers and Blackhawks from Rogers Place. Edmonton looking for 5 wins in a row. Blackhawks losing 4 straight. Trent Frederic back for the Oilers. He's been out the past 5 games. Zach Hyman is a game-time decision. Tristan Jarry gets the start. Tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson tee up the game coverage starting at 6 right here on EST. Meanwhile, the Oilers, they've locked up 23-year-old Owen Michaels from Western Michigan to a 1-year entry-level deal that kicks in for next season. In the NFL, 37-year-old Kirk Cousins has signed with the Raiders according to his agent elsewhere. There's a half dozen games in the Association. Thunder, Lakers clashing at 7:30. The Spurs and Clippers tipping off while Minnie and Detroit open the night at 5. Baseball has 3 games on tap. Right now, the Twins, Royals in action, end of the 6th inning. Minnesota leading 1-0. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 2 of EST Afternoon starts right now.
on EST. This is EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish with you here. Coming up 3 o'clock, it is the Reed Wilkins Show with Reed Wilkins and Jay Milne. And then GCLD's Oilers and post-game shows tonight. Tommy, Benny, Belzy will get you set for that game. 6 o'clock for the pregame show. They'll also have it 7 o'clock on Saturdays. The Oilers will take on the Golden Knights. Hello Hockey, 10 o'clock on Saturday as well. Portions of this hour of ESD Afternoons are brought to you by Lamley's Workwear. Built for the job, made with quality craftsmanship and designed for job protection with cowboy-worthy durability. Lamley's Workwear combines safety with all-day comfort, featuring brands like Ariat Work and regular rigs designed to withstand tough conditions and deliver performances across every job site. Visit lamleys.com/work to see how Lamleys can make your work day better. No.
LAMMLES.
There we go. I screwed that up.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll give him another play. Just
LAMMLES.
That's a man right there.
LES. Feel like smoking a Marlboro after I hear that.
I feel like I'm just not like I would be like look like such a fraud walking into their place. Like I would walk in.
I would too.
And it'd just be like, yeah, I'm not tough enough for any of that.
I need to look like Rip.
Yeah, I'm not. I am so soft compared to all those people that deserve to be buying those products.
Well, let me tell you, boys, I've been in there one time. They have a spot, Gateway Boulevard, and my buddy's like, hey, I need some boots. And I'm like, all right. And I go in there and, I definitely didn't fit myself. I'm not a hard worker. I don't get my hands dirty, but that's the place to go if you do.
Yeah, our listeners are.
Yep.
I have worked in radio my whole life. I am not. These hands have not seen tough days. Let me tell you that right now.
Turning on that mic.
Yeah, moving.
Hardest thing I do all day.
Yeah, that's... I used to have to turn them on and off all the time in a different way. So like we had a bigger board. I did a little more work. It is what it is. I'm not tough at all.
We'll go get you some gloves, man.
Maybe I just need to start smoking.
Yeah.
Just to try to be a little tougher or something. Let's get to Red Light District with Joaquin Gage.
Finishing up a heater.
Dun, da, da, da. Joaquin.
Yeah. You don't have to put on the red light.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night.
Joaquin.
Yeah. You don't have to wear that dress tonight.
Believe in me.
Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right.
Joaquin.
Help me load the way.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin.
Yeah, baby.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin. 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 Joaquin.
Finishing up a heater.
Gager, take her away.
I just got to go to the nasty chat one time with Les Sweet 3093. Statistically, Hernan was due to be sick, which brought a smile to my face. Maddie, I've been jumping on this Ingram train for a little bit here, and I know I'm looking into the future, which I usually do, but I've kind of looked and seen, and I think I have 10 reasons why the Edmonton Oilers should sign Connor Ingram to a multi-year deal.
10 reasons.
Number one.
Oh, you're starting one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, where do you start?
Letterman.
You like to count down?
Letterman goes 10 to 1.
Yeah.
Eric's weekly rankings of power goes 10 to 1.
Yeah, I'm a little different if you haven't noticed. He's a proven NHL starter. You can't tell me that he's not a starting goalie in the NHL anymore. I know that was the moniker when he came in here, and I was like, what? I don't even know who this guy is. But he's taken the ball and run with it. He's been the most consistent goaltender over the past few seasons, I think, with the Edmonton Oilers. He He has a style of play that suits this team. He can handle the workload. And to have that type of goaltender with the offensive power that the Oilers can have at times, I think it's a no-brainer. That's number one.
Okay, proven winner. Number
2, consistency when it matters. Like you see, he's not flashy. He's steady. Although those types of saves are confidence builders, like they're hitting you in the chest all the time. He is just really steady in net. Again, that calming presence, right? And he's proven it since he's been here. He's every chance he's gotten to get when he gets in net there, he's taken the ball and performed really well. Number 3, mental toughness and resilience. Look, I kind of did a little bit of a digging into, what he's had to go through and how hard it's been, essentially, being out of the league, getting down to the minors and things not going well there. But he gets his chance here. And again, what does he do? He's a dog with a bone. He grabs it and doesn't let go, right? So he got his chance to become a number 1 goaltender again. And he took advantage of it. Perfect. Trending in the right direction, number 4. So although his numbers aren't astronomical, they are trending in the right direction. I think it's a little bit of a reflection of the team, but the eye test tells me that he's on the verge of, his numbers really changing over the last little bit. Look, he could have had 2 shutouts the last 2 games if it wasn't for some fortunate and good plays by the Anaheim Ducks.
Number 5.
Number 5 is cost effective. Like you heard me ask you about the salary cap. And we've always had a debate. What percentage of the cap should be wrapped up in your goaltenders? I say anywhere between like that 7 to 9. 10's a lot, but now we're looking at price points and Jarry with the cap. If he has a contract similar to Jarry, around that 5 number, 5.5, I know that puts you a little bit over 10 million, but that's still close to that 10% wrapped up in your goaltender. So I don't mind that. And you still have 2 really capable goaltenders. Okay. Number 6, he would stabilize the crease long term. And by that, I mean, from what I've seen so far, he's the right age to have that type of success. Okay. And now it's not like it's been a while, and I know Jarry, the questions come up, but that revolving door that we've heard, Oilers need a goalie, Oilers need a goalie, Oilers need a goalie. This I think stops it for at least a few years with the style. If he can keep up this type of play, you're not talking about that. Number 7 is strong against high danger scoring chances. Like, although there wasn't too many last game, there was times when something happened quick, and he's there. He's made saves that that Edmonton Oilers fans, and I guarantee coaching staff and management, have been looking for goaltenders to make for the past few seasons. And not only does he stop them, he doesn't allow a second chance opportunity. Right? It's just what he's been doing is quite impressive. Number 8. And I've said this a lot, he's entering his prime age window for a goaltender. Just turned 29 last game. I think for a lot of goalies, they are at their best between those ages of like 28 and 31. You're at your peak physically. You've seen so much at the pro level, and you're able to incorporate both body, mind, and skill into one package. The best, I think, at that age. Number 9. It fits the Oilers' timeline to win a championship, right? You finally got your guy. We don't have a flying DeLorean with a flex capacitor, but it would be interesting to input Connor Ingram into the playoffs the last few seasons to see what happens with the Edmonton Oilers, right? And number 10,
the last one.
He's just calm, technically sound style. Doesn't overplay the position. His structure and positioning suit playoff hockey where chaos can kill you.
There you go. There's the 10 reasons the Oilers should sign Connor Ingram. Going to next year. I get number 5 is the big. What would be the comparables? What's the number you can get Connor Ingram?
No, that's the thing. If he has a lot of success here, I think it's bye-bye.
No.
If he goes on a run and the Oilers get back to the Stanley Cup Finals,
you do everything you can to move Jarry.
Yeah, but he's unrestricted, Ingram.
You sign that deal. You can't let him walk.
You can't. No, I know.
Because then what do you replace? You can't go with Jarry at that point. But it'd be fascinating because, well, if they win the cup, it also doesn't matter because they will have won the cup, right? Like to a degree,
I know.
Like it's everyone's just going to be happy with the parade. I guess there'll be people going into next year, going, wow, let's repeat and stuff. But you can maybe he comes a little less because it's like let's repeat type thing.
But if you're looking for a goalie, aren't you looking at seeing what he's doing over the past couple months and going,
But are you going to overpay for that?
Everyone always does.
I know, but that's where like maybe the Oilers you just lock him up type thing prior.
Or do you?
But I'm curious. Like if it's $5 million, you have $10.375 million locked up in your 2 goalies. Is that too much to have? If what cap right now on Puckpedia is a 104, there's been talk it might go up as high as a 108. Here's what the Oilers have for next year that they have to sign or not sign, make decisions on: Adam Henrique, Jason Dickinson, Jack Roslovic, Kasperi Kapanen, Max Jones, Colton Dach, Curtis Lazar, Connor Murphy, Spencer Stastny.
And
they have currently projected for next year, if it's $104 million, just shy of $17 million in space. So anywhere between 17 and 21 million type thing.
And the most important piece to all those is Ingram.
Yeah.
So maybe you can go 7 for a lower number. Maybe it's 4.5 and 7, right? But I don't.
That's a long time.
It is a long time. But easily.
I don't trust goalies for that long.
No. Yeah, I'm week to week here. Dusty said it.
Troll, I like the 1 through 10 in terms of your reasoning. He liked 1 through 10. He liked all of them. In the end, though, part of this all comes down to just one thing. It's great that he's playing well now, but he's got to prove it in the playoffs.
I know. But I nothing gives me any hesitation to think that he won't.
Okay, would you try to then get this locked in before the playoffs? Like in the next week or two?
I think I do, Matty.
Would you?
Yeah.
If I'm Connor Ingram, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't want to do that.
I would wait to see.
I'd want to. I'd trust myself and be confident in myself and be like, no, I'm going to play really well and have a bump on my.
If they didn't have these last 4 games in the way that they've kind of changed, maybe then I would think, you know what, this might be a little bit. But now that they've tightened up as a team, I mean, if he goes on a run in the playoffs, look out. You're not getting him. I don't think you can sign him because someone will throw more at him. And it's tough because Jarry is making, 5-3?
I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if...
You've had
it depends what the run is. But other goalies have had decent runs. I don't think you're just breaking the bank completely for them always.
Well, that's what happened with Jack Campbell. And I'm not saying Ingram's
That's true.
But he had really good playoffs. It was just one series.
He had a half a season.
Jake Ottinger had one good series. Really?
Yeah, you're not the biggest Jake Ottinger guy.
I think he's a really good goaltender. But is he the elite of the elite?
I guess we'll find out this year. The reason is that I think this is maybe the best Stars team we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And I know
you completely healthy again now. I mean, I know that Sagan's out for the year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when the Oilers played him, weren't they missing 3 guys?
Well, they had no hints. Rantanen was out for a bit. Do we have... Let me look. Puckpedia has a decent injury list. Usually. Active injuries. Tyler Myers is out day to day. Rupe Hintz is out day to day. Michael Bunting's out day to day. Vasquez IR day to day. Sam Steele's out day to day. Wow, they still have quite a bit.
They got to shut everyone down.
That's
Bring
a
up the San
decent
Antonio
list.
Armadillos to play.
Well, and like Bunting and Myers were two of their additions at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Now, it's all day to day, so for them, hopefully they get back and a little bit healthy. But that's also a team that they've found a way to get through those injuries. They keep finding ways to win hockey games. Largely.
Big time.
I think they've lost a couple straight.
You know, sometimes losing your big players is a huge blessing because you don't rely on them as much anymore.
Well, is that what we're seeing here in Edmonton?
Yes.
It's one of those things that you have to wonder. Not that you don't need Leon Draisaitl,
No.
but it forces those other players to have to step up.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that just with this stretch and Leon being gone will change the way that Knoblaw does things when Leon comes back eventually? Or is he just going to fall back into old habits? Because they mentioned on the broadcast last game how, I think Jack said it, that when the Oilers are up a goal or up two, Knoblaw just rolls the lines.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're down two and you're having that much success rolling the lines, why wouldn't you keep rolling the lines instead of just loading up?
Because it's hard not to just go with that easy option. Because if you lose, people will be like, well, why didn't you go with those guys? Why didn't you put those guys together? Here's what I'll say about Chris Knobloch. He's had 2 playoffs with the Edmonton Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
In the playoffs, he's been damn good most of those.
Yeah.
Right?
He's hit every button, and we've all criticized it and said, what are you doing?
He's hit most of them. There's only one coach out there that has outcoached him. That's Paul Maurice.
Yeah. But what's the biggest difference what Paul Maurice did? I mean, maybe he was in a better position too, but he rolled the lines.
He rolled the lines, and they had a very physical team. That's one of the kryptonites of the Edmonton Oilers is that hard forecheck with that physicality.
Yeah.
And not every team could, like, it's an easy blueprint, you could say, but to have players then you could roll that through the 4 lines is very difficult.
Broberg looked like he handled it quite well.
But it's one of those Chris Knobloch, and like you could rip him on for this season. A lot of fans will. And even last year, the regular season, he has hit the right things. He's done the right things in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we shall see if he can get it done. I'd be fascinated by a Chris Knobloch versus Glenn Gulutzan playoff, though.
Yeah.
It'd be fascinating to watch.
It's just another something that we'll pay a lot of attention to, that the back and forth between them. That'll be great. Oh, I hope they play Dallas.
Actually, like, we could go through a situation where second round would be Oilers versus Ducks, which has Jay Woodcroft on the bench. And then
would he jump out and try to shake hands before Glenville? Like the Woody power stance?
The Woody power stance. Or does Knobloch do that to him if the Oilers win? Because there's some fans out there that keep saying that, the Oilers, they should have never got rid of Jay Woodcroft. The players didn't want it, even though when you watch, that's the revisionist history, you could tell that at the time there needed to be some sort of change. No one wanted Jay Woodcroft last 2 coaching cycles. That's the one thing I always will point to with Jay Woodcroft. Like, he seemed like he was a really good coach, but it's fascinating that 2 summers ago and last summer was not and he interviewed, but he didn't get and there's a lot of job openings in those 2 times. He didn't get a single job.
No.
That says a lot to me. But there's a situation where the Oilers Chris Knobloch might go up against the guy he replaced. And the one guy that gets a lot of credit for the success of Chris Knobloch here.
You know, in football, how you say, like, you see some guys and they're great offensive coordinators or defensive, but they get the head coaching job and it doesn't. Is Woodcroft just a really good assistant coach?
He might be.
Hey?
He might be.
He's had a lot of success as an assistant. And as a head coach. I won't say he didn't, but
he'll need to have one more crack at it. But Glenn Gulutzan's a guy that he looked like maybe he'd be a guy that was just a really good assistant.
Yeah.
Didn't do it first stint with Dallas as a head coach. Went to Calgary. Like, he was fine.
Yeah, he was okay.
But then came and became this elite assistant coach in Dallas. Things are rolling quite nice out there.
I think
maybe he's learned.
I think
it's up to Jay Woodcroft. Can he learn and grow?
It's a good, like a professional trajectory to do that. I think, Maddie, for a guy to come in, be a coach, kind of, you make some mistakes, you do things wrong, you learn from them. Then you go down to an assistant and you can kind of, like they always say, assistant coach in the NHL is the best job in the world because basically a psychologist and pushing pucks, right? And you have your input, but you're kind of freewheeling. But then you learn that side. You learn the relationship side of things. Then you become a head coach again, and then you're the full package.
Glenn Gulletson.
Is Glenn Gulletson the full package?
Glenn Gulletson, first 2 years with Dallas, 4th in the Pacific, 5th in the Pacific, missed both playoffs both those years. That was with the old divisions. 89 points, 48 points. That was the shortened season. Calgary, 16, 17, 17, 18, 4th in the Pacific, 5th in the Pacific. Made the playoffs in 16, 17 with 94 points. They were swept in the first round to the Ducks. Overall, his head coaching record prior to this year was in 294 games, he had 146 wins, 125 losses, and 23 overtime losses. So about a 500 coach. And now he's got the Dallas Stars possibly rolling quite well. They were already good. We'll see if the Dallas Stars can get it done in the playoffs. This was Red Light District here on EST Afternoons. We're late to break. When we come back, open segment. We're open. We can get into the River Cree inbox. We can get into the nasty chat. We'll talk more about Oilers and Blackhawks. Maybe we'll hear from Connor Murphy in advance of the Oilers game tonight. His from Avail from earlier today. Matt Iwanyk in for Hernan Salas alongside Joaquin Gage. We'll get to a Coop Sports update and back here on EST Afternoons. Live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Presented by Play Alberta.
The Oilers are rolling hot, entering their game tonight against the Blackhawks. 4 straight for Edmonton and 4 straight losses for Chicago. Trent Frederic back in the lineup. He's missed the past 5 games for Edmonton. Zach Hyman, a game-time decision for the Oilers. Tristan Jarry gets the nod in between the pipes. Join Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson. They hit the airwaves for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Coverage starts at 6 right here on EST. And the Oilers, they've locked up 23-year-old Owen Michaels from Western Michigan. 1-year entry-level deal for him. That kicks in at the start of next season. 13 other games in the NHL. Utah, Seattle dropped the puck. Sharks, Leafs, they play while the Preds and Kings hit the ice. To the NFL, 37-year-old Kirk Cousins has signed with the Raiders, according to his agent. Elsewhere, there's a half dozen games in the association. Thunder and Lakers clashing at 7:30. Minnie and Detroit open the night at 5 o'clock. Baseball, just a trio of games today. Jays game postponed. They kick off their series 3-gamer with the White Sox tomorrow. Right now, it's the Twins leading top of the 8th, 1-0 against the Royals. In other news, the voice of curling, Vic Rauter, has announced his retirement after over 40 years of broadcasting to the Pebble, Canada, taking on Germany round robin action at the World Men's Curling Championship. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. EST Afternoons rolls on following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Site-ready, Western Tough. Lamley's Workwear is calling all tradespeople, oil and gas crews, construction workers, farmers, and hard-working Canadians. Built for the job with quality craftsmanship, job site protection, and cowboy-worthy durability. Trusted brands like Airy at Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed for performance and all-day comfort on the toughest sites. No matter the season, Lamley's has the workwear you need. Shop the full range now at lamleys.com/work. LAMMLES.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
Goodwill is
One shopper. Finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward. One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase. One donation. One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
The power of one. The power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
It's a rezzed up reimagining, a cultural celebration, and a smash hit. River Cree Resort and Casino brings you Bear Grease the Musical. Don't miss this hilarious spin on the 70s classic, replacing T-Birds and Pink Ladies with a cast of characters that spotlight Indigenous language, music, and moves with a Broadway flair. Iconic numbers get a bold new spirit in the audience favorite, Bear Grease. April 26th in the venue at River Cree. Must be 18 plus. Get info and tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense. Back here on EST Afternoons, Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Zachary Kubish. River Cree Inbox 780-2899-99. Happy hour 525 drinks available Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. Big plans for Easter weekend for you guys? No F1?
No F1, yeah. I was hoping for... Seeing the snow sucked, man. I'll try to kind of clean up the backyard.
Oh, yeah. You wanted to do your little reno or project.
Yeah.
7 degrees tomorrow, 9 on Saturday, or 8 on Saturday.
So it'll dry out a bit. I'm probably just going to try to sweep up the deck, get it all situated. I've got a lot of herbs growing right now, so I got to get those. It's too cold, but I'm trying to see where I'm going to put those.
I've learned there's a schedule of when you start seeding them in your house.
I know.
And then you plant them at a certain time. I've learned this.
Yeah, I didn't. I saw that and paid no attention to it.
I'm not liking this long-term forecast I'm seeing for April.
Is it bad?
Well, I have a site that Clausen uses for models. Okay, screw the Canadian model. This European model I like much more. And then, Coop, you can answer what you're doing this weekend. 6 tomorrow, it's saying 6 on Saturday. Then it's a little cool. Like next Wednesday's like a 2-degree high. Thursday's like a 2-degree high. But next Saturday's 8. Next Sunday's 11. Monday the 13th, 15. 18 on the 14th. 19 on the 15th. 18 on the 16th.
Wow.
I want that model. That model, the European model better be correct.
And that's vastly different than the Canadian model?
The Canadian model has the long-term forecast. On the 11th, it says we'd have a high of 2, and then 3, and then 3, and then 3, and then 6, and then 6, and then 6.
Did Clausen
much different?
Yes.
Did Clausen just fingers fall asleep on the pad when he's putting those?
But this isn't his.
He gets blamed.
He gave me this site to go.
He's a weatherman.
SpotWX.com where you can look at these models things. And do I understand fully what I'm
What
reading?
do you like to know, weather boy?
Is there I wonder if Clausen, do you go to Vegas for the meteorologists
I forgot
gathering?
what the school is. There's one now online, University of Mississippi maybe or something.
Really?
There's an online school to become the meteorologist. But yes,
There's
you have
famous school?
Yeah, I think there's a top one. You have to go and graduate from a certain school to be considered to be a meteorologist. Otherwise, you're just a weather person. You cannot claim to be a meteorologist unless you've passed.
So Clausen's
the chief meteorologist of CTV Edmonton. He knows what the hell he's talking about. And I see these models.
But knows nothing about meteors.
Are you sure about that? See, all this stuff, I don't know how to fully go by what I'm reading fully and how he compares them or whatever.
Colombia?
So, I have no idea.
Okay. I'm just throwing out names.
But I just know that there's this European model right now, and the European model is showing some nice weather in mid-April and not crappy weather like the Canadian model. Although this other European model looks like crap too.
Yeah, they're all. It's all a hoax, Maddie. Okay, people click a button, control the weather. That's what happens.
I just want a golf coupe.
I know you do, man.
Well, build the simulator.
Yeah, we can do it all year.
I want the point where I'm going to go buy new flip-flops this year. I want to be wearing my flip-flops again. I want to put shorts on.
Like thong flip-flops or like...
Yes.
Okay.
Thong and flip-flops?
Thong flip-flops.
Oh.
Those, the ones that go in between the toes.
Jeez. Are you going next door?
Again, it's just a paint shop downstairs. That's all it is.
Right.
Cool. What were you doing this weekend? Because we started talking about that.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a get-together on Saturday with some friends. Got a friend who's making some brisket, 5 pounds of brisket. There's going to be a whole ton of people there.
Wow.
Somebody else
How much are you going to eat?
At least a pound to myself. I don't know. But there's going to be some libations enjoyed, probably. Some fun Easter festivities. I don't really know what we're going to get up to. Probably not a scavenger hunt with the weather. It might be so-so. I'll probably just hang out inside, watch movies. I don't know. We'll get up to something. Staying busy with the fam, and then I don't have to work on Monday.
Yeah, he has it booked off. Me, you, and Benny on Monday.
Slacker.
I'm going to see Project Hail Mary, actually.
Are you?
Yeah. Didn't know whether I wanted to see it. Saw the trailers. And it's like, girlfriend wants to go see it.
Raves about it.
The book. Did you see the movie?
The book.
The movie, then by all accounts, it is getting huge reviews. I'm like, okay, I'll go see it.
Does the book have pictures?
I don't know.
In your mind's eye.
I've never.
Probably not going to read it if it doesn't.
Good. Are you not a reader?
No, not as much as I'd like to. There are some odd books, though, you find and you get hooked on, but there's something about it. No patience with my generation. It's all the Gen Zers.
I have 2 books on the go right now.
Wow, 2?
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to mix them up.
Oh, okay.
I got a Tom Petty biography I'm reading.
Oh, yeah? How's that?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. A couple chapters into that one. And then a thing called The Good War. It's a Canadian scientist and stuff wrote about climate change.
Oh, cool.
And how we should be handling it, which I'm fascinated about too.
I have a friend who that's all he reads is rock
biographies.
Biographies.
Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson? No.
What?
You said rock.
Rock and roll artists.
Oh, yeah.
Like Tom Petty was a musician. Dave Grohl.
There's probably a rock biography somewhere. No? Anyways.
He doesn't just read one book over and over again.
That's why there's multiple.
I'm not. I don't do as much fiction reading.
No?
No. I like my non-fictions.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Although I did finally finish Dune.
Yeah?
I loved it. The book was great.
Yeah.
I learned the differences of how the little kid who was born was actually very powerful.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I want to read Dune Messiah ahead of Dune 3 coming out. Partly because I don't know what's going to happen.
I'll read it and let you know.
I don't know if I want to be spoiled going into the movie. I know what happened in Dune. I didn't know what happened in Dune 1 and 2 when I watched, and then I read the book. I don't know if I want to just continue that because that's what I've done for the trilogy, or if I go different, read the book, go watch the movie.
What else comes out that day?
Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, right.
It's Doomsday. Doomsday.
That's not as cool as Barbenheimer. Let's be honest. Minecraft 2 and
yeah, but it does have a fascinating. The Barbie and Oppenheimer were two distinct audiences that they were targeting, and this is very much the same audience these other two are targeting, which makes it fascinating.
Are you going to go back to back?
Double header, yeah.
I'm not into those movies. I'm not into the Avengers, so I'm not one of those that would be going for the back to back. You?
I'm thinking about it.
We should all just plan a big EST at day out at the movies, because I'll want to watch Dune with everyone.
I still need to watch that second one. That first one's so good. The movie.
Here's what I'll say, because I know Dusty said the same thing. Watch Dune 2 in November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember I watched Dune 1 right before, 6 weeks before Dune 2 came out, and I didn't have to wait.
That was a long wait.
Yeah, I know, for people that,
because
right? With the
what
cliffhanger.
Happened?
It was...
why did they delay it?
Well, it was just...
Was there a writing strike?
Maybe. I thought they were just... No, because he didn't think he was going to get greenlit for the second movie.
Yeah, but they had it all ready to go, but the release date, they moved it from
June
January, 2? Yeah, to the summer, I thought.
No, Dune 2 came out in a March or something.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, it was supposed to come out earlier. I remember that.
But it's one they had the cliffhanger that happened, so you don't want to. You'd have to wait if you watched it right away. So, Coop, if you watch Dune 2, let's say you watched it this weekend, you're gonna have to wait until December to see 3.
And then
I might as well just wait till November.
Yeah. I almost
and
just
then
want to rewatch.
if you get pumped up for 3, it's going to be on in a couple weeks.
The first one was so good. I wouldn't even mind watching it again because you remember what happens, but just to get those smaller details to lead into the other movies as well. Because did the first one end like that as well? Or it's just a bit of a continuation?
First one ended where there was no second movie, it's kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did extend.
Yeah,
Mex Bezozu saying that Doomsday may have moved.
Why would they move?
I didn't think they did. Or is this recent? Oh, from 2 days ago. Avengers Doomsday may blink in Dune Part 3 release day chicken. So it's not, I don't know if it's out yet. It hasn't been proven that it's done. But it sounds like Avengers might be moving for Dune. Still listed as December 18th. So we'll see if either of those switch. Dune has basically come out multiple times and we're not moving.
Well, it is the original sci-fi story.
Yeah, when you told me that, that's kind of maybe where Star Wars was stolen from that, maybe.
Oh, well.
I think it could have. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't say stolen, but highly influenced. Let's just say,
fair.
Right? But how is it not,
Well, I'm excited about the Dunes. They were great.
I mean, you could say
we're supposed to talk
Tolkien-
sports in this segment, but I kind of sidetracked. So apologies.
You could say that Tolkien's books inspired Star Wars too.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings is just, oh my God. Those are
ridiculous.
They're so amazing. And did you see Stephen Colbert's writing?
Yeah, he's
Lord of the
great.
Rings movie?
Yeah. There's people that are mad about it.
Well, there is a part of me that goes, because they're filming a movie on Gollum.
Yeah.
Right now. Then they're gonna do that movie with Stephen Colbert. I want this to end. Lord of the Rings is Lord of the Rings. We don't need to keep having spin-offs or new things. Leave it as is. No. You have Rings of Power going on Amazon. We had the trilogy of The Hobbit. We had the trilogy of the books. You do this, the one on Gollum. You do this other one. We don't need to turn this into Star Wars.
No.
Where it's now this massive universe or something. No. It's so perfect. Stop trying to mess with it. Just leave it be.
I agree with you. What's got me kind of in a tizzy is the new Harry Potter series.
Were you a Harry Potter fan?
Oh gosh, yeah.
See, and I wasn't, but the director's brilliant.
When I was in the UK, my first year when I played over in Europe, the movie was coming out. It's funny though, because when I went to the movie theater, and the preview was for Fellowship, and it was Gandalf walking through, and my mind was click. I go, wait a second, is this Lord of the Rings? I had no idea. I think I let out a scream. My wife, my girlfriend at the time, almost left right there because I just nerded out on Lord of the Rings. But the third book, what's the third book? It's not the Chamber of Secrets, is it? Is it Prisoner of Azkaban? I don't know. Whatever the third book of the Harry Potter series is, had already come out, but the first movie came out.
Prisoner
of Azkaban?
Yeah.
So, all I saw were these little kids with Harry Potter glasses running around with capes on. I mean, half of them, they all have to wear outfits, but it was a phenomenon. All these kids were reading the Harry Potter book. So I picked the first one up. I mean, it's quite childish, the first one, but as the series goes on, the dialogue gets a little bit more advanced. It becomes a little bit more advanced from a children's book, I'd say, from the first three. But yeah, I read them all, man.
Well, hey, if you're reading that first book, your reading comprehension should keep growing.
Yeah, I got way better at reading.
Yeah. What's coming up with the Reed Wilkins Show and Jay Milne today, Coop?
That's a fantastic question, actually. We have Kevin Radomski, Oil Kings Director of Business Operations, coming in studio. We got the one and only Tom Gazzola.
How are we letting him in?
I know. He's such a bad guy.
Tav's great.
He's actually.
Gazzola's going to be on.
I don't even want to say that jokingly. That he's a bad guy. Yeah, Tom Gazzola 520 to tee up the game as well. We'll get into all the big news around the Oilers, Oil Kings, and so much more. Also, some more Vic Rauter conversation, I'd imagine. Off-topic topic for William Huff. Always a fun time. Jay's play of the day and so much more on tap.
We're going to take a quick time out. We're going to wrap up the week here on EST Afternoons with the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay. We need a victory. It hasn't been. I have had a bad week. Apologies to everyone. It's not been a strong week. We're going to end it strong for Play Alberta with the Screw It, Let's Do it. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk. We'll get to a Coop Sports update on the other side. Screw It, Let's Do it. We'll wrap up the segment or the show for the weekend and then hand things off to Reed Wilkins and Jay Milne. This is EST Afternoons live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta.
The Oilers face the Blackhawks at home, game 3 of their 4-game homestand. Trent Frederic returning from a 5-game absence. Zach Hyman, a game-time decision, while Tristan Jarry gets the start. Tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola, Ben Thompson set the table for the matchup. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock right here on EST. 13 other games in the NHL. Utah, Seattle, they drop the puck. The Sharks and Maple Leafs go at it, while the Predators face the Kings. And in the NFL, 37-year-old Kirk Cousins has signed with the Raiders, according to his agent. Elsewhere, there's a half dozen games in the NBA. Thunder, Lakers clashing 7:30. Spurs and Clippers also go at it, while Minnie and Detroit open the night at 5 o'clock. Over in the majors, 3 games on tap today. Bottom 8th, Twins still up by 1 run over the Royals, 2-1. Minnesota leading. And in other news, the voice of curling, Vic Rauter has announced his retirement after over 40 years to the Pebble, Canada. Germany, they're in action round-robin play in the World Men's Curling Championship. Third end, Canada, with Hammer up 2-1. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Screw it, let's do it. Parlay up next for Play Alberta here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey Dad, I'm coming home from university.
Before they come back from school, get extra space with Sentinel Storage. Affordable and convenient storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Plus, students save 10% on rental. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said, great job. Happy hour. Your boss said, per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Shaq, and you're listening to Edmonton Sports Talk.
Oh, you give me a thumbs up saying we're back. Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, wrapping up EST Afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Cook choice for Edmonton Sports, Zachary Kubish with us here as well. This day in sports history, forgot to do it yesterday. A couple things. 1986, Paul Coffey scored his 47th, 48th goals of the season. He broke Bobby Orr's NHL record for most goals by a defenseman. That was on April 2nd in 1986, as I said. In 85, NCAA Rules Committee adopted the 45-second shot clock for men's basketball to begin in the 86 season. And then I saw this one, which I find fascinating. In 1931, 17-year-old girl Jackie Mitchell strikes out New York Yankees stars Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig in an exhibition baseball game out in Tennessee.
Cool.
Imagine that. That's your story. I struck out Lou Gehrig.
That's great.
And Babe Ruth. There's a couple of things from this day in sports history.
I have a question for you, man.
Okay, shoot.
One of the best battles of all in the Lord of the Rings is when the hobbits go back to the Shire and what's his name? Wormtongue?
Hey, don't spoil it. No, I'll just plug my ears.
What's his name? He was Sauron's right-hand guy there.
Yeah, you're talking about in the books.
In the books, yeah.
They don't have that in the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
But is that something that you would want to see?
Well,
Because that's a great battle.
I think that's what Stephen Colbert is writing off of.
Oh,
I think.
Okay.
I didn't actually know that until recently. That whole battle.
What?
Didn't know that.
You
Like
didn't know
Sauron or Saruman.
Saruman's, his little.
He leads that.
Yeah, Saruman
Because he
leads
doesn't.
that.
In the movie, they made the scene
Yeah.
which was the extended version where
Yeah.
Christopher Lee's character as Saruman, he dies there. He doesn't die immediately. He leads that battle
He
out
leads
in
the battle back in
the Shire.
Yeah.
And it's Merry and Pippin and stuff that come in and lead the battle because they're war tested.
They're all warriors and got armor and
and
stuff.
got taller.
Yeah.
Legitimately from the water and stuff. That I didn't know that was that's what kind of happened. And there's the vision that is it Sam or is it Frodo that have the Shire on fire type thing.
Yeah. It's
that's because
that's
it
what
does
happens.
happen. Yeah. I think would be a cool little movie. And I'm trying to figure out if that's because then who becomes? I think Sam becomes mayor or something.
Yeah, he does.
I think this is kind of what Colbert's going to be writing about. Is that part of it?
Okay.
Which I really hope that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, I was so upset that they didn't have that. Well, I wasn't because the movie was quite long, Return of the King. I'm going, God, we still got another battle here. Go.
By the time they destroy the ring, there's still another 30 minutes in that movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get to the skirt. Let's do a parlay for Play Alberta. Download the app, visit playalberta.ca. Hit it, Coop.
Let's do it, no delay. Let's take a risk today. No sense being safe. We need a huge payday.
Leon's body language is the scourge of the Shire was taken out of the films because Jackson thought that the pacing was off. Already thought the climax was the destruction of the ring.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, that's where that makes sense. So that would be a cool movie because now you're still continuing Tolkien's writing.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm cool with, but don't go into making things up and fan fiction and things like that. Screw it. Let's do a parlay. Look, this song says we need a huge payday. We need a win. We need to just end this on a victory. Over at EST Specials, Jay and Huss built a lot during the lock shop, which is awesome. The grandest parlay is up as well. Coob, let's start with you. What are you throwing into the?
Oh man, you're saying go easy, get a win, and I'm saying go easy, get a win as well. Connor McDavid, 25 career games against the Blackhawks, 37 points, 26 assists, 11 goals. He's going to get a point tonight.
You just go on McDavid point.
Just McDavid point. Okay, if that's not available.
Well, we can get it available online. Like if people just go straight up for McDavid, generally that's not there. But no, it's there. It's
Usually
minus
it's
833.
Yeah.
So that's not really.
Ooh.
That's okay. Hey, look.
Minus 833.
Yeah, it doesn't help that much.
833.
Yeah, minus 833 for just a McDavid point. But let's see what we have here.
Okay.
Gager?
I got Tristan Jarry making over 20 and a half saves.
20 and a half saves.
20 and a half.
So that's minus 115. Okay, it's not letting me do this. I need to find another parlay that's just minus or something else that's 115, just so I could play with what we have.
Well, good for you.
No, here we go. Okay, so it's a 285 if I throw in what I want. If we take away Coob's play, it takes it at 243. So not bad. It actually does give us a decent bump.
Should I go for McDavid shot totals?
No. But hey, it's not a bad thing to throw in because it goes from approximately a 243 with what I'm going to throw in there. And if we throw in the McDavid point, it brings just a single point. It does bump us up by almost like 40 points or whatever. It's a little value. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Duck Dad saying Hawks average 24 shots per game.
They've been
not bad.
Peppering goaltenders recently. Yeah. Well, last game 24, 40 before that, 38 prior, 42, 47, 33, 49, 29, 37.
So if you two hit, we have to wait till noon tomorrow to see if mine hits. Because I'm going to baseball. I'm going to the Diamonds.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going there. Look, the Toronto Blue Jays, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th in Major League Baseball in terms of runs scored. Did leave runners in scoring position, but they're going up against the Chicago White Sox. And if anybody listened to the show yesterday, you would know that the Chicago White Sox, I mentioned this, have given up 52 runs in 6 games this season. 52 runs in 6 games. That's averaging over 8 runs allowed this season in the early start of the White Sox. We don't even have to go that high. The Jays over 4.5 runs. The Jays getting 5 runs against the Chicago White Sox. That's minus 123.
I like it.
It's plus 285. If we get this combined, we're probably looking at about 3-1. A little bit higher than I thought we were going to get. We're going to go for when we built this. But I like it. So how are we wrap? So McDavid point tonight. Tristan Jarry over 20.5 saves. Toronto Blue Jays over 4.5 runs.
Yep. Then that pays for your 6-pack of 6 o'clock lagers for Saturday night when the Oilers play again.
Oh.
Bingo.
You cash it. Like, imagine the $3.99 stuff you could hit at on a Saturday at the Burr House for their happy hour.
Come on.
That's all you have to go for. So there we go. That's what we're gonna try to end this week strong. We've got the Oilers game, 2 legs of that tonight. We've got Blue Jays tomorrow against the White Sox. You'll find that
out there
at
and sees Hernandez, text me pictures of what he's doing because I have issues with him.
Wednesday when he comes back, over under 4.5 minutes when you see Hernan on Wednesday, does he talk about being tired even though he had all this time off?
Oh, what is the bet?
4.5 minutes from when you see him.
Oh, I would put it at 1.5 under, and I'll take the under.
Because you know how he's going to sell this?
Huh.
Man, I was sick, so I was so tired I didn't get my sleep.
Tired.
I still could have used more time off. That's what he's going to say. That's my prediction. Gager, this was fun the last 2 days.
It's been great, buddy.
We'll do it for 2 more days next week.
Love it.
Week. Have a wonderful Easter weekend.
You too.
Enjoy. Coop, excellent. Thank you for the hangout today.
Say hi to your lovely girlfriend for me.
I will. She'll probably say hi back.
All
so
right.
I'll do a preemptive hello from her.
Great.
It's snowing where she is right now.
Gross.
Coop, thank you for the hangout. Great job today. On the other side of the camera, you're up with Reed Wilkins and Jay Milne. It's the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne coming up from 3 to 6 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We got GCLT's Ulster pre- and post-game shows tonight as well as Saturday. Tommy, Benny, and Belzy will get you set for both games, including tonight against the Blackhawks. We got Hello Hockey Saturday at 10 o'clock. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to the show. Thank you to Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show for joining us and giving us some insight into the Oil Kings 2-2 series against the Saskatoon Blades. On behalf of Coob, Gager, Matt, have a wonderful Easter weekend. We'll chat with you on Monday. Thanks for tuning in to EST Afternoons right here on the EST at Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne, Zachary Kubish coming up in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.